Okay, so we are live, and I think I have everything I need. So, hello there. Let me.
Hello.
Whoa, I'm losing my camera. Okay, better. All right. So the purpose of this. Nope. I'm just feeling like this is not the way I want it to be. Okay, I think so. The purpose of this broadcast is to share how we do a virtual listing presentation. So what I want to do is I want to take you through the entire process of prospecting over the phone, how I set that appointment. That's the easy part, right? Um, and then how to um, get my prospective seller to uh, do a Zoom. So we're going to for informational purposes, for just we're going to pretend that this is a Zoom call. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is the prospecting call, and the prospecting call we've decided to do a simple circle prospecting call. The circle prospecting call that I do is a very easy direct point. So you can do one of two ways. You could do a just listed, just sold. The just listed call is real easy. I have a property here in front of me. Hi, my name's Eric Melnikoff. My team and I just listed and sold 72 Spruce, not too far from you. That home went on the market. It's a small 3-bed, 2-bath ranch. It went on the market for 418, and in just 7 days, we sold it for 470, 11% over the asking price. Now, obviously, I'm not on screen with them. This is over the telephone. The reason I'm calling neighbors is there's a lot of people looking to move into the neighborhood and simply not enough good homes for sale. So the reason I say you can use either one, that using a property usually gets people to want to listen, right? I eat as a homeowner, I'm a homeowner, and if somebody called me saying, hey, your neighbor's home sold for XYZ, I kind of want to know that. So it's a way to get them to stay on the phone. And I'm calling around to find out, have you considered making a move in the last 12 months? That's the just sold. Tell them about the property, very quick, very simple. It's the address, it's the size, how many beds, how many baths, listed for X, sold for Y, how many days. A lot of people looking to move into town. So, and there's not enough good homes for sale. So I'm calling to find out, have you considered making a move in the last 12 months? Or the shorter version, direct approach. Hi, my name's Eric Melnikoff, Keller Williams Realty. I'm calling all the neighbors. Maybe you can help. There's a lot of buyers looking to move into town, and there's simply not enough good homes for sale. So I'm calling to find out, have you considered making a move in the last 12 months? And then Aida would say, what?
Whatever I'll say.
Say it again.
Whatever I will say whenever we're ready.
All right, well, let's role play this one right into the appointment.
Okay.
So it's Eric Melnikoff, Keller Williams Realty. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi, hey, I'm calling all the neighbors. Maybe you can help. There's a lot of buyers looking to move into town, and there's simply not enough good homes for sale. So I'm calling around all the neighbors to find out, have you considered making a move in the last 12 months?
Yeah, we thought of it, but right now we're old with all this pandemic and all. Like we don't know.
Okay, great, excellent. So you have thought about it, and with the pandemic, you're kind of in flux. You're not really sure. Tell me, when you sell this home, where do you plan on going next?
Oh, I have so many options. My daughter is calling me. My son is calling me. Yeah.
Okay, good for you. So, needless to say, you have more than enough places to go to. It's just a matter of getting it. What's got you thinking of making a move?
Like kids are out to college. They all have their families. It's too big for me now.
Okay, so the kids are out of the house. The house is too big. Is it just you alone, or is it you and
My husband.
your husband? Great. Ideally, putting the pandemic aside for a minute, what would be your ideal timeline to want to be out of the house and into something a little bit more manageable?
Well, there's nothing holding me here.
Okay, so if there was no COVID-19, you'd be on your way.
Yeah, but right now in this buyer's market, I don't want to do anything.
Okay. All right. That's interesting you say that. So we'll definitely address that conversation. Um, I assume you're not already committed to another realtor, correct?
No, no.
Great, great. Look, I would ask you at this point, when would you like me to follow up with you? But instead of saying asking that question, I want to ask you, would you be surprised to learn that it's actually a really strong market for sellers right now?
What do you mean?
I'm glad you asked. Let's do this. Let's set up a telephone call. Do you have an email address?
Sure. I blah blah at .com.
Okay, great. I was going to ask you for it, so thank you. Blah blah at AOL.com. And what I'd like to do is set up a virtual consultation. It's a listing consultation. I will email you a link. You'll click on that link. It'll invite you to a private room where you and your husband and myself can get on in front of our computers, and we're going to have a virtual conversation, a conversation through a virtual platform, so we could see one another face to face. But you're going to stay in the comfort of your own home. We're going to social distance while I stay in my office, and I'm going to provide you with all that information. Fair enough?
Sure. So how much do you think the house is worth right now?
That's a really good question, and that's the first thing we're going to go over once we're done with the basic consultation.
Okay.
Let me ask you a couple questions. So then, at this point, in order to save some time, I have a hard 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, 2:30. So at this point, I'll go through my pre-qualification script. The pre-qualification script is, it asks, I don't know, 14, 15 different questions. What do we got here? Expired script over the phone. The pre-qual script, I still have them up in my script holder. Pre-qual is a dozen questions. I rarely ever skip a question. It's always ask all the questions. If what I say makes sense and you and your husband feel comfortable and confident that we can sell your home, are you planning to hire me to sell your home? And I'll go through all these questions. All right, so let's assume we set the appointment for 2 o'clock on Thursday. What do I do then? So what I'm going to do then, and I'm going to explain this to him, prior to our conversation, I'm going to deliver a pre-listing booklet. Now, a lot of people, including myself, have chosen to do the virtual book, which is, whatever CMA system or tools you're using usually has a digital version, which you can email. The one I use, CMA Toolkit or Toolkit CMA, you can send it to them directly from Toolkit CMA, and when they open it, you get notification they've opened it. That's not my preference. My preference is to actually print it out and get a hardcover book. This is the book I use. I don't know, they're $7, $8, $9, something like that. And I put in the booklet two things. The first thing I put in the booklet, I'm going to share my screen with you. It's going to be dangerous, so let's see if I can do this. Sharing screens. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's see if I can. Friendly heads up. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's go over here. You see my screen?
Yep.
Does it look funny to you? Does it look funny to me?
I see like 15 screen.
Okay. So the first part of the booklet is this. Do you see my? Let me just see, because I don't know what you're looking at here. Let's just get this here. So you don't see you on the screen, right?
I do.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I see you and me.
Okay. And it's not crazy looking, right? Let me just go over here real quick. I'm going to move you over here.
This one is crazy looking.
This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not. All right. So the first thing I send them is in the first part of the booklet. The first part of this booklet is a 27-page analysis. Well, I'm sorry. The team pre-listing book. It's the presentation. It's a cover page. Goes over what we do, why we do it, a brief synopsis of our statistics compared to the market. And then every page, I have my mission, vision, values, our beliefs, our purpose. I go over the 4 key components of our success, which talks about the purpose, our standards, our service, and then of course the 4th is fiduciary versus functionary rather. I go over the team itself. I list the people on the team, and then I go over basic numbers again. I talk about the different sellers I've worked with, average market. This says 28 days. They can call people up. And then I go over the 16-point action plan. I highlight or bolden up the points that I really want them to focus on. And the first and foremost is price. So they're going to get this book. Let me stop sharing for a moment.
How many pages in average?
Say it again.
How many pages?
So that part of the book is 27 pages of content. 27 pages of content. The second part of the book is the analysis. Okay, the analysis really is a standard CMA from Toolkit CMA. It that could vary depending on how many listings, how many comparables you use. So let's assume that Aida got the book. She went through the book. We set the appointment. The appointment's for today. I like to confirm my appointments. Certainly when I'm going there, I like to confirm my appointments. I call up the day before and I confirm the appointment. And now the day of the appointment. Now, why do I confirm my appointment? I confirm the appointment for this reason. I asked them, did you do your homework? Did you have an opportunity to carefully review the information I sent to you? They might say, what?
Yeah, we looked at it. Yeah, we have some questions.
Good. Perfect. Now, if she were to say, I didn't get a chance to look at it,
I didn't have a chance to look at it.
Say it again.
I didn't have a chance to look at it.
Oh, wow. Aida, it's 4 o'clock Monday evening. I'm getting ready to get on the phones for a few hours to call some clients. Our appointment's at 2 o'clock Tuesday, tomorrow. Will you have an opportunity to carefully review that book prior to our 2 o'clock meeting?
Yes, we'll take a look at it.
Okay, both you and your husband?
Yep, we will.
Perfect. I can count on you to do your homework, correct?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good. All right, so I will. I'll see you at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
Remember, the link is emailed to you. You did confirm you received the link, and feel free to log in 5 minutes early. I'll see you at 2 o'clock.
All right.
All right, here we are. We logged into the Zoom. It's now 5 minutes to 2, and we're live. Now, what I like to do, and this is really for training purposes, and so I can go back and see what I did right and what I maybe can improve upon, is I tell my seller, so I set the appointment and I have it record automatically. And then I let them know, I say, Aida, I have this meeting that we're having right now. We're recording it. So if you want a version of this recording, just let me know and I'll send it to you. So if you could refer back to it. Fair enough?
That's a nice way, yeah.
Right. And so 9 out of 10 times, they'll never ask me for it. And what I have is a recording, so I can go back, just like the superstar football players and boxers and sports people. They go and they like to review their tapes to say, okay, the golfer, oh wow, see how I swung? That's why I didn't get a good, So that's I don't know what the terminology is for golf, so I'll just stop right there. All right, so we're on the phone. Here's what I'm doing. I'm not sharing my screen with them, but this is what I don't know if this is sharing yet. Tell me if we're sharing. I don't know why I don't have a great. It's interesting, huh? Look at that. Is that like one of those weird?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that does that. All right. In any event, what am I reading off of? Okay, I like to read off of. That's weird. So I like to read off of this. This is my script. And look, this is not in front of them, or this is not on my screen shared. This is usually in front of me. It's a piece of paper. I don't really need to follow the script, but I like to have it in front of me because I like to take notes. All right. And what I do, this actually is the listing presentation that I learned, 11 years ago when I started listing property. And what I did was I took the flashcards and I simply put them on 8 by 17, 8.5 by 17, no, 11 by 17, and I fold it. I don't think I have a version of it here. Yeah, I have it right here. So this is what it looks like. And whether I'm in the house or whether I'm on the phone with them on a Zoom call, I get to use this. And I'll tell them, Aida, I'll hold it up. She doesn't see the screen share, right? So let me stop sharing the screen. Aida, I'm going to be taking notes. So if you see me looking down writing, I'm just keeping good notes so I can refer back to them if we need to. Fair enough? Great. I believe the single most important thing we could do today is go over facts and figures. And so I'm going to bring you a lot of facts and figures so what I'm trying to achieve, which is to help you get the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. Fair enough?
Yep.
So if I have any questions about what to say, I could look down because I've already told Aida that you might see me writing some notes. Now, she can't see if I'm writing or not. She just sees my head go down a little bit. Now, I'm going to go through everything step by step. And if what I say makes sense, I'm going to ask that you sign a listing with me today. Fair enough?
Well, I cannot promise that.
I appreciate that. So just so I'm clear, it's Aida and Mr. Aida. And the address here is 123 Apple Street, correct?
Correct.
And the best email is at the aida@aida.com?
Totally.
Great. And the phone number I have is the 1234567. Is there another number?
Yes, my cell phone.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Now, I wrote down 3 really important questions. Number 1, do you absolutely have to get this home sold?
If price is right.
Great. If the price is right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your motivation? In other words, 1 being, we could stay another 10 or 15 years, and 10 saying, look, we'd love to be out of here before the winter.
I would say like 9. We don't have to. We're not been hurting, so.
Wow. See that expression? I like the wow, Wow, that's motivated. Aida, you said if the price is right, and it's good that you said that because that's my next question. Will you price your home to sell for the most amount of money in the shortest period of time? Or do you want to let it sit out on the market for a long period of time?
Well, of course, I don't want to sit on the market, but I don't want to give it away either. Perfect.
I haven't given a home away yet, and I don't plan to start with you. In fact, if you decide you want to give it away, please call me first. No, we're fine there. Number 3, do you want my team to handle the sale?
Well, we'll see.
Okay, great. So at the end of this consultation, one of 3 things will happen. Number 1, you'll have the opportunity to list your home with me. Number 2, you'll decide not to list your home with me. Or 3, I'll decide not to take your listing. I want you to know any one of those 3 are fine. Okay. In other words, I want you to know that I'm not interested in taking a listing just for the sake of taking a listing. If we can't agree on a price that's good for you and that makes sense to a buyer and that can get you guys to a closing table, you don't need me, right?
Of course.
Okay. So just to review some of the notes that I took over the phone last week, is you're moving to your daughter's house, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And you said you're going because the house is just too big and the taxes are too high, correct? Yes?
Yep.
Okay. And your taxes, you said, were $17,000?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh gosh. I know why you're moving. Oh boy. Okay. And you said ideally you want to be there as soon as you can get there, correct?
Yeah, no specific time. I mean, I prefer sooner than later, but yeah.
Of course. Of course. Um, Aida, I know this is a silly question. You weren't planning on trying to sell the home yourself, were you?
No, well, not really.
Okay. Um, you'd like to get how much for the property?
Well, we're thinking of 700.
Okay, 700,000. And you said you owe nothing?
Correct.
Perfect. So there's a lot of equity we need to protect before the market shifts, correct?
For sure.
Great. The turning of the page allows me to get to my next script. So it's on 11 by 17. And good, I got some good notes here. So look, there's only two issues we have to think about and talk about today. The first is your motivation to sell this home. And the second is the price we put on the home. Those are the only two. I've prepared a competitive market analysis. That's the book that you have in your hands. Do you have an opportunity to review that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, guys, okay, I'm going to go through. I was gonna spare a little time and cut the corner, but let's not cut any corners. So, and it really goes through. Let me see if I can pull one up because I don't have one that you guys can see. So bear with me a minute. So, assuming that I'm sharing my screen, right? That's what I'm going to do. Let's go with a property. Let's do this. I'm going to go with, okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. Where is it? All right, here we go. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to get back over here. Let me share my. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Okay, so assuming they're looking at the booklet, I could either have them look at the booklet, or preferably I'll open up what I sent them in the booklet and I'll send them. Now, Aida, let's just assume she said she wanted 425.
Yeah.
Right?
425.
425. At 425, we're going to look at the other properties on the market. These properties are all, let's just see if they have it here. They're all 3-bed, 2 baths. Okay, all 4-bed, 3-bed, 2 baths. So we're looking at these properties, and I'm going to go through these one at a time. And as I go through these properties, I'm going to log my information on the sheet so that I can do some quick calculations. It's a little bit more effective when you're in front of them, but it really doesn't change. Now, if she wanted 425, her property is completely outdated. This property is completely updated. And I explained to her in this particular case, there were only a couple comps. Now, the properties that are on the market aren't comparable properties yet. We can't really determine a price based on what those sold for because they didn't sell yet. So we kind of skip over these. The reason I tell my seller, the reason why I show you these is this is the competition right now. Now, generally speaking, we probably have 4, 5, 6, maybe not. Maybe we're in a market like this was a couple months back where it was a tight market. There were not a lot of properties for sale. But let's assume there's 2, 3, 4, 5. I could say to them, look, guys, this is what we're going up against. We'll get back to that later. I'm not going to get back to that later unless we have a really, really hard time on pricing. I might bring that back up. Let's go right to, so there's 2 parts of the competitive market analysis. The first part is what we call fantasy land, okay? That's over here, right? That's this part. That's what sellers would like to get for their home. The second part is what we call reality. That's what a good agent and a great seller together sell the property for. Aida, you're going to have to determine today where you want to spend your time, okay? And then I'm going to go through these properties one at a time, and I'm going to show her where it is in relation to hers. This one is 53 South 20th Street. Have you seen this home, Aida?
No.
She's going to say no. Why will she say no? Because most people aren't there sitting looking at all the properties. Some are, most aren't. And I'm going to say, well, I have. So let me show it to you. Now, when I go through this property, I'm going to say, hey, is this one nicer or better? And a lot of times, if it's a nicer home, they're going to say, wow, oh, yeah, that's nicer. And that's helpful, right, in pricing the home properly. I go through the homes. I ask them. I don't tell them that this is a 3-bed, 2-bath with 8 rooms. I ask them. So, Aida, this home is this home similar to yours? And she'll look at the house and she'll say, yeah, it's similar. Well, let's look a little bit closer. And I show her the pictures and I say, this home has, and I'll highlight it. How many bedrooms?
3.
And yours has?
Does mine have 2?
3.
Okay, 3.
And this one has how many baths?
2.
And yours has?
2.
Okay, and this is a colonial on a 50 by 100 lot, and I think you told me yours was 45 by 105?
Yeah.
So virtually the same lot, right? And this one is about 3 blocks away from you, correct?
Right.
Okay. How much did they list this home for?
$429,900.
And how much did it sell for?
$420.
In how many days?
2 months. A little over 2 months.
Right. And then this one, let's get past that. Now again, this, let's see, that's the second home. Bear with me. Okay, where did this home come out of? That's this home. And then this home is $395. And then I ask them the same question here. This one has how many beds, how many baths, what style, what's the lot size, similar taxes to yours. They listed for how much? They sold it for how much? In how many days? Okay. So then I can go down and I can look and I can say, look, this one sold for $420. It's completely renovated. Okay. Talk about using the grays, huh? Looks like a rainy day. And this will show us right here that the median sales price is identical to the average sales price, right?
Right.
At that point, I'm going to ask them, Aida, after seeing this property, I'm going to leave this just the way I have it. After seeing this, what price do you feel we need to use to create value in the eyes of the buyer and get them to choose your home versus the competition?
How realistic of a seller you want me to be? Any? Well,
we got about 20 minutes, so don't make it. No, whatever you want. You wanted 425 to begin with. Remember that.
Right. Well, now that
Now that you've seen the numbers, Aida.
Price it high.
Excuse me.
Now that I see this, maybe we can even price higher my property.
Okay. And since your home needs a new kitchen and bathroom, how did you determine that?
Well, the kitchen is good. The bathrooms, okay, they're updated, but they're in great condition. And when we put the carpet, it was brand new. I mean, it was the top. I mean, it was new, but it was like a top quality carpet. So.
And what year did you put the carpet in?
It was 20 years ago, but
I love Aida.
Quality.
The
best one we picked, you know.
Right, and you have hardwood floors underneath the carpeting.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, and if I were to suggest that removing the carpeting could get you another $5,000 or $10,000, would you invest $400 or $500 to have a couple handyman remove the carpeting?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to think about. I mean.
Great. So you think at this point, now that you've seen this, what price do you feel we need to use to create value in the eyes of the buyer and get them to pick your home over another home?
Well, I understand we need to be cheaper than them, but you know, like I don't want to be the cheapest house that's sold in my neighborhood.
Okay. So what price do you feel we need to use?
I guess for 10.
410. Okay, great. Now that you've seen these homes and what they're selling for, I'm going to suggest you list your home at $388,880. Will you list your home today for $388,880?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And you know, since at this point we look like we're about $22,000 apart from one another, tell me, what price do you absolutely have to have?
400.
400. Okay. 400. So it looks like we're about 12,000 apart. So there's one of two things I would do at this point. It looks to me like this home will sell for 400 all day long. She's already down to 400,000. I might just go ahead and say, you know what? I think that's smart, and may I suggest that we list the home $1,200 under 400,000 at $398,880. That's just my numbers. I'm crazy with the eights. It just makes it a little bit more appealing, and this way we have an opportunity to get multiple bids, and who knows where it'll go. Is that fair?
So, but I don't want to, like, if offer comes at that price, I'm not going to take it. I'm just telling you now, you'll be listing.
Aida, let me share something with you. If an offer comes at 415 and something happens between now and that offer, and you decide that you wanted 430, like you just changed your mind, nobody can force you to sell your home. Okay. Fair enough. All right, so we're going to go ahead and list you for $398,880. What do I do now? Now that I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. So what am I doing now? So I've already got the commitment on the price point. I'm going to go to now, if you use a digital signature system, that would help, right? But what I'm going to do is, without sharing my screen, I'm going to open up my DocuSign or .loop or whatever program you use, and I'm going to start talking with them as I fill out the document, the same way I would if we were on the phone. In person. Okay, the same exact way. Nothing changes. Great, Mr. and Mrs. Aida, and I'm fumbling with papers, you know, and I'm doing one of these, and I'm on screen with them. Just bear with me now. Aida, I have your email at aida@aida.com. Mr. Aida, what's your email?
That's the one that you just said.
Right, but that's yours, Aida, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what's Mr. Aida's?
The same thing, but just a dot in the end.
Okay, so we spell the dot out. So they say, well, I don't understand. I need two emails. You both are on the deed?
Right, correct.
Right. I need a unique email for everybody to sign. And the computer you're on right now, you have your email up in a,
Yeah, I do.
okay, great.
I
Just
do.
bear with me. So I have you at, and I'm just going to talk through. I'm going to talk through all the paperwork. Most of the paperwork just requires signatures. There's really only the listing agreement and a seller's disclosure, but the seller's disclosure, I'm going to let them do that. That's homework. I don't need that today. Okay. 99% of the documents just need signature spots. If you're confident and you're powerful and you say, you know what, I want to do this on my own, you will. I'm sorry, I want to do this. I'm going to do this. You're probably going to want to fill out those documents in advance. Get their signature. Now, if you have just the one email, you can't place those both signature spots. But I would try to do as much in advance as you could. Start a loop. You're going to get the listing, so set it up. Spend 10 minutes ahead of time and prepare. That'll minimize your amount of time on the phone here. Once I have it done, I'm going to go ahead and email the docs while I'm on the phone with them. All right, guys, check your email now. And I'm walking them through how to get on. Now, it's really good because in most cases I've got documents signed by .loop, or a lot of cases, not most. People can't figure it out. God, there's a problem, and oh God, and I'm not a real technical support guy. So it's good that I can walk them through and they get the docs signed. Once the docs get
system that you send it through, because that's not clear.
.loop.
Oh, you do? Okay.
It goes right through .loop, goes to their email. We're on the phone, and that's it. Simple. Now that I've got confirmation that they've signed the documents, I'm going to do a timeline strategy session with them. Right now, remember, we're at COVID-19, right? It's COVID-19. They really don't want people through their home. They're going to move in with their daughter. So unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity to help them purchase something right now. I might say to them, Aida, is it something where you're going to stay with your daughter indefinitely, or is that just a holdover until you can find the right apartment you were talking about?
Yeah, I just want to see that town and see, maybe I would like to purchase like a small ranch or something like that.
Beautiful, beautiful. And will you allow me, once we sell this home and we get you moved into your daughter's, what are you thinking? A month, 2, 3, 6, 12? How much time do you think you'll be at your daughter's?
Maybe like a year or so.
Okay. And at that point, say 3 or 4 months before you're ready to move out, will you allow me to help you start the search and help you secure your next home?
Oh, no, honey. It's all the way in Ridgewood.
Oh, in Ridgewood. Okay. Don't worry. I work Ridgewood as well as Essex County. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Great. All right. So what am I doing now? So I'm going to open up a calendar, right? And I'm going to share my screen with them on Zoom. I'm not going to do it right here because I'm having a hard time finding my calendar, but I'm going to find, oh, there, let's see. Oh, I had it. I'm the opposite of a technical guy. Hold on, I just had, there it is. Let me share my screen. Bear with me. Oh, see that? I hit the wrong thing. Sharing screen. So the purpose of sharing the screen to go over a calendar is so that you can get everything set in your. Woo! That's trippy, huh? It's like one of those fun. Where's the calendar? Google Calendar. Okay, and for this, I don't know how to do it here. Let's do it this way. Month. This is the month, right? And so I have a month at a glance. Where are we? May, June. Oh, too far. So we're at June.
The work been signed already, and this is our second conversation on the same day.
This is the same day.
Okay.
Yeah. The paperwork signed. We signed the paperwork today, June 2nd. I'm gonna order photography. Photography could take 3 or 4 days to get into your house. And she might say, well, no, I got to get the house prepared. No problem. Well, I don't want anyone in my house to show the house, right? This is one of the yeah, the wrench in the, what do they call that? Wrench in the, one of the challenges we have to overcome. So the way I like to overcome that is, while we're going to talk about a timeline, let's get off here. We're going to talk about a timeline. What we're going to also do is let her know that, so what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 people come to your house for 90 minutes. They're going to wear gloves, masks, and booties. They're going to come in. I'm going to ask you leave your home for 2 hours. They're going to do a virtual tour, a 3D tour. I can easily share my screen with them again and show them some of my other 3D tours, the Matterports. They're going to take a floor plan design, and they're going to take professional photos. Then they're going to leave. You come home. If you have some sort of disinfectant, not that they've touched anything, but just to play it safe, I ask that you disinfect all the doorknobs and any of the counter spaces. This way you feel comfortable, you know that everything's safe. Fair enough?
Sure, of course. I appreciate that.
Then what we're going to do is, based on our timeline, we're going to go live on the 13th. And we're going to leave it live, and we're going to tell the other agents that until the designated days of showings, which will be about 10 days to 2 weeks, 10 to 14 days, we're going to do just virtual. Now, if somebody wants to make an offer based on that virtual, they're more than welcome to do so. At that point, you've got an offer in your hand. If it's the right offer, you might even just go ahead and accept it, and no one's even entered your home. They'll only enter your home once it's out of attorney review and they're doing a home inspection. Or some buyers will say, listen, before we get out of attorney review, we want to walk through your home. At that point, Aida, you're going to go ahead and leave your home for 30 minutes. They're going to come in and they're going to look at your home. Same thing, gloves, masks, booties, you sanitize or disinfect when you're done. Everyone's safe. Fair enough?
So you're saying people will buy my house without seeing it at all?
We have received offers. I just received my second offer. This is true, so I can say it. I just received another offer on another property, sight unseen, just based on the virtual tour. The virtual tour, and at this point, I might go ahead and show them the virtual tour. It's very realistic. You know, it's very realistic, and it's very it's very real. Now, are we going to sell a home based on a virtual tour? Maybe not. Maybe it really needs to be something where you know, they need to get in the home. That's why I always, in addition to the virtual tour, let them know that that we like to have on the 10th or 11th or 12th day, on a Saturday and a Sunday, for 90 minutes to 2 hours, we like to book appointments. So it's not an open house, because we're not having open houses, but it's like an open house where for those 2 hours of that 90 minutes, we've got 6 to 10 families. Now, how do we do that? No agents, no children, just the buyer. And one of the representatives from my team, either myself if you're a solo agent, or one of your buyer's agents if you have them. That's it. You guys go out for a couple hours. We will book appointments. They're 15-minute blocks. People are required to be there 15 minutes early, ready to go for their time slot. We get them in, we get them out. We make sure they don't touch anything. We make sure that, you know, they've signed a document saying that they're not sick, they don't have any fever, they have no symptoms for COVID. When everything's said and done, you'll get back in the house. No one's touched any doors, but I'm going to ask you to disinfect anyway. Fair enough?
Okay.
Most people don't have a problem with that.
Well, I have a question. Do you think it will be better until we wait until all this pandemic slows down and everything will be back to normal?
What's the question? Should we wait?
Yes.
What do you think? Did you hear my question?
Yes, I heard you.
You thinking?
As an agent or as a seller? Seller?
Well, you're asking me. Are you asking me as the seller or as
seller? I'm asking as a seller.
Oh, that's an objection to seller.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. So that's after you've signed the documents, or is that an objection before we even sign the documents?
Yeah, after documents, because I kind of get nervous you explaining all doorknobs and all.
Yeah. Well, so Aida, we could wait. We absolutely can wait. And I guess the question really is, it's not should we wait or could we wait? The question is, what are the costs of waiting and what are the risks of not waiting, right? Um, we've done this quite a few times. You know, our office lists and get your office statistics. You know, I think we listed I don't know 100 properties in the last 30 days in our office, give or take, and whatever that number is. Say, look, we've listed, 85 properties, and we've went under contract on 65 of the 80. Like, give real numbers. I use my numbers. I've listed half a dozen properties in the last, 45 days or 60 days or whatever, 90 days or whatever the property is, whatever the timeline is, and whatever the number of properties I've listed, and I have sold every one of those properties. In fact, every one but one, which was pre-COVID, which we'll probably release, they're all sold. It's like 5 or 6 properties, all under contract. Okay. And we haven't had any issues. And so at this point, what I feel is important is that we got to look at what the market's doing right now. Many sellers, in fact, the report is that the listing inventory is down 32% from this same time last year. So the inventory has shrunk by a third. The buyers are out in full force because interest rates are around 3%. They're hovering right around 3%. I heard a quote a week ago, 2 7/8 for a 30-year fixed mortgage. So buyers are hungry to get into homes. So that's created a seller's market. And so we don't know where we're going to be in 6 months or a year from now when this is over. In fact, when this is over, would it be safe to assume that all the sellers who wanted to sell this time of the year will say, okay, all right, this is safe. It's good to sell. Let's get our home on the market. Is that safe? Right. And do you think when that happens, inventory will go down or will it go up?
Of course it will go up, yeah.
Right. And when inventory goes up, do you have an opportunity to get more money, or with the competition, might it be harder to get your number?
I see what you mean.
Right. So let's go ahead and let's set the appointment with the photographer. We'll keep this as controlled as possible. And if at any time you have any reservations, you let me know and we'll handle it then. Fair enough?
Yep, that's fine.
Right. There's a lot of different ways to answer those questions, and I'm sure there's a lot of better ways to answer them. I like to draw the conclusion. Again, if somebody's not motivated, I'm not asking anybody to risk their health. I have 1, 2, 3 sellers right now who they're committed to listing with me. But one of them's actually recovering from COVID-19, so she can't let anyone in her home. There has to be a certain timeline post her last. She has to be cleared, 14 days or whatever that is past her last negative test. I have another one who's in her early 80s, who's at high risk because she's got Parkinson's. We're not forcing them to list. I'm not even suggesting a list. All I'm doing is staying in contact with them. How am I staying in contact? I'm calling them once a week. I'm emailing them if they have emails like the senior citizen, she does. And I'm sending a bomb. Every Friday I send the bomb out, just checking in. Just want to make sure you're okay. If you need anything, let me know. I send the bomb because I want them to see my face. All right. So I don't know. I believe. I want to sing a song, but I don't know how to sing, so I'm going to hold up on that. We're going to wrap this up. I have, like I said, I have about 10 more minutes because I have a hard out here. I have a 2 o'clock interview with a restaurateur. Hold on one second. Say it again.
It's 2:15.
I'm sorry. Did I say 2? I meant 2:30.
Oh.
Wait. I hope it's 2:30. Yes, 2:30. Scared me for. Scared me. I scared myself. So let me. All right. I see people still commenting on the tragedies of the day. See if there's any questions, comments before we hang up here. Well, it looks like we're all good. All right, guys. So I think that's it. If there's any questions, you could always put them in the comments after the fact. If you've watched this already, if you haven't watched it yet, and you watch it later tonight or tomorrow or the next day, and you have questions, ask the questions, make your comments. We can address it in the feed. This will be up for as long as it's up. Thanks a lot, Aida. On the spot, Aida was kind enough to drop everything she was doing and help out and be the seller. So I appreciate your flexibility in that. And thanks a lot. Bye-bye, Aida. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your time. Be well. Please.